So my new PC is still working, but it's 7 years old now and it's time to upgrade. My old PC was pretty noisy to start with. It was a HAF 922, which is a high airflow. And boy, did it have some airflow. As well as that, now the bearings are gone too in all the fans. So it's time to get a quieter PC. I'm gonna be using this PC for video editing. And to help me with my new PC, I got my mate Dan Man here. How's it going?
Hey matey.
Yeah.
And hello internet.
I've selected parts to make this rig as silent as possible with a realistic budget and with the ability to process 4K raw video and render it in real time on a 4K monitor. Firstly, 32 gigs of RAM is pretty much the minimum needed for real-time online editing of the original footage. Everything will be strapped to this MSI Gaming Pro motherboard. It's not the top end, but it does the job nicely for what I'm wanting to do. It has a nice layout. It includes a new 3.1 USB, a USB-C port, and an M.2 for really fast static disk drives. I've downgraded from a 750 watt to a 650 watt power supply for this build. For the GPU, I'm chucking in a GTX 1060. This particular MSI model is one of the more silent ones around. Cooling will be handled by this dual tower CPU cooler. I went with the single fan option, and this newer model is built with an overhang on one side, so it doesn't block some of the ports. The operating system and core applications will be running off this super fast SSD, which clocks in at 3,200 megabytes per second read speeds. And it'll all be housed in this Phanteks white case. I chose this because it's quite a good looking case and it's practical for what I need. It comes with a few really great features, like well-designed airflow system, filters on all the fans and optional ones on the top, easily accessible filters for the power supply, RGB lighting, and really trendy tempered glass. The brain, for editing and exporting tasks in which the GPU can't be used, I'll be chucking in a big i7 Kaby Lake. So Dan Man, he hasn't seen anything yet. He doesn't know what kind of system we've got.
I'm pretty keen to find out what's going to go on here.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's really sleek. What model is that?
It's an Eclipse P400.
Ooh, that sounds fancy. Fancy schmancy.
So I got the new i7 7700K Kaby Lake, 4.2 gigahertz Kaby Lake. Did I say 4.2 gigahertz?
Fast. Look at that. Pretty. What you like this? Check this out, we've got a MSI NVIDIA 1060 graphics card. Mikey's done well, he's found himself a nice little card. That's a nice RAM. That's aesthetically pleasing.
Aesthetically pleasing RAM.
Very aesthetic.
How's that? So I'm chucking in my old solid state drive. I'm just doing it temporarily to be a temporary cache for my video editing until I get the faster SSD from my old computer to chuck in. So this motherboard comes with LED lighting, LED strips. So we just connect them with magnets, just like that. It works. So that's about it for this video. Speaking of which, this video was edited on this PC. Thanks to my mate Dan Man for taking some time off uni to help me with this PC build. We had some fun and learned a little bit of new tech as well, which is really good. So I haven't had any problems with this PC except for just the bearings in the fan of the power supply. I just checked out the Corsair power supplies. Seem to have a bit of a problem with the fan when it's facing down to the ground and pushing out of the system. So all I had to do was just flip the power supply around, and when the fan was facing up, the bearing is silent again. So that was about the only problem, but just flipping up the power supply was an easy fix. And having the fan pushing into the system doesn't seem to have affected the airflow at all, but just something to be aware of with this model of the power supply. Apart from that, this thing is as silent as a mouse. It's really good. It'll keep me going for the next 5 or 6 years, hopefully. I love the lights in this thing. You can configure the lights to whatever colors you want. You can make it respond to music, and it really looks so good through the tempered glass. And it's such a relief to have a faster computer for video editing. It renders really fast. Even when it's rendering, it's quite silent. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. This is not a high-end build, and for what it is, it does a fantastic job. So I love it. Thanks for watching.